Okie dokes. This is a unboxing for a set of proxies from MakePlayingCards.com. I kind of been a lurker on the MPCproxies subreddit and kind of wanted to give it a try. Most of these were generated from the MPC Fill website, but a couple of them, which I will point out, were designed by me through Card Conjurer and Photoshop, or at least templated. So we'll see how they turned out. So I've got the 216 box, which are for the foils I wanted to get with this set. And then I've got the, 612 that are nonfoil. So you can kind of see on the side here the different gradations of the sets of cards that I've got. So let's crack these first. So obviously 612 is like the max order size you can do for a single quote-unquote deck. This is my first order from MPC, so I've heard good things about them. I just haven't had the chance to try it out myself yet. So first up, I got a bunch of pathways. First impression, feels pretty good. Sheen looks fine. Full art pathways, obviously without the hollow stamp or any of the other information on the bottom. If it looks like I got them in weird numbers of each, it's because I, made a spreadsheet of things that I wanted for the current decks that I have versus decks that I'm planning to build in the near future. I bought the... When did I place this order? Let's check real quick. Make playing cards. Ordered this on December 5th, and it is now December 18th, so just about 2 weeks. For shipping time, I got the standard shipping, did not get the express shipping. But yeah. Pretty happy with these. Yeah, if is what other people said, maybe just a hair thinner or a hair lighter than a regular magic card, but feels pretty similar just from a flick. And then obviously if you double sleeve or single or double sleeve, the marginal difference will be a lot less. So pathways done. Next up, we got some Painlands. Edakar Waste here. Underground River, Sulphurous Springs, Carplucin Forest, Brushland, Shivan Reef, Battlefield Forge, Yavi Coast. There does... Interesting. There is a residue here. Let me get a napkin for that. Yeah, there seems to be some sort of residue on the back of this. Like an oil, maybe? Who knows? Oh, yeah, here are the backs of the cards that I chose. One of the options off of MPC Fill, so similar to the magic back, but without the mana colors, the magic, or, anything on the back. So distinguishable from a regular magic card. Yeah, and then there was some sort of residue here, but I guess it's gone now. Interesting. Some sort of moisture. I don't know. Weird. I mean, just proxies, right? So, okay, well, continuing. Seagate restoration. So you could see that this is the templating from MPC fill. It's a leftover from MPC autofill, given it has MPC autofill still in the lower right corner here. But yeah. Agadeem's Awakening, Shatter Skull Smashing, Turn Timber. Got a extended art Yavamaya here. Obviously without set symbol or the security stamp. We got Urborg here, and this is one of the frames that was on MPCproxies, or the MPC fill. The kind of D&D like one. It has the the D20 symbol at the bottom. It's pretty cool. I like this one, and there'll be other lands or other cards using the same template later on. Mana Confluence, extended art, but using the I believe this is the expedition art, but as an extended art instead of the expedition. City of Brass, Ancient Tomb. It's pretty cool. Ancient Tomb in the D&D kind of showcase frame. Gaia's Cradle. Growing Rights. Looks pretty good. Yeah. Extended Art Guardian Project. Triumph of the Hordes. Chains of Mephistopheles. Feels pretty good. So, Enlightened Tutor, Phyrexian Tower, Phyrexian Altar, Ashnod's Altar, Extended Art, Altar of Dementia, Vampiric Tutor with a kind of old frame, Demonic Tutor with the Japanese Mystical Archive art, but translated English, Diabolic Intent, Extended Art, Imperial Seal, Mana Crypt. So there was a version of this on MPC fill that was very similar, but it had the Japanese translation name of Mana Crypt on there. I just, for my own sanity, wanted it like this, and just to test, different frames out with Card Conjure, stuff like that. So, Mana Vault, Greater Oromancy for the Sithist Harvest Hand deck that I have. Serra Sanctum, same thing. Extended Art, Sylvan Library, Sylvan Tutor. So you could see here that the last line of text there, the not for sale, is actually cut pretty close to the line. So just a thing to note on this particular templated card. 3 visits, extended art. Nature's Lore, full art. Pretty cool. Micaeus, the Unhallowed, for some graveyard-based decks. Worldly Tutor. Balagad Recovery. Shizo Dust Storehouse for black decks. Extended art version. Shinka Blood-Soaked Keep. Oboro Pass in the Clouds. Jessica's Will. Extended art. Wheel of Fortune extended art. So for the higher like level or C EDH cards, I only printed a couple because I only plan to have like 3 or 4 C EDH level decks at the moment. Cyclonic Rift extended art. Toxic Deluge. Prismatic Vista, all with the D&D like frame, which is I think looked the coolest. It's pretty cool. Doomsday, Thassa's Oracle full art, which looks pretty cool. I think looks really nice. It looks like a solid altar, honestly. Okay, next up, we've got Tainted Pack, obviously going with the Thassa's Oracle for the Thoracle combo. Demonic Consultation, same thing. Both of these extended art. Looks pretty nice, actually. These all were printed around 1200 DPI, so yeah. Next up, a bunch of different versions of the Teferi's Protection, which were available on MPC Fill. So this cool looking one. The original art, extended version. The Black is Magic version. Then next up we got Generous Gifts. Beast Within with Princess Mononoke art, which I think is pretty cool. My favorite Ghibli movie. Swan Song. Extended art. Smothering Tithes. Extended art. Farseek. Extended art. Talismans in extended art also, which I think are pretty cool. And it really works with the art that was already on the talismans, so yeah, including the Modern Horizons talismans, because you know, got decks in every color. Then we have Exploration using the borderless art, Toski in full art, Seshiro the Anointed. So they had a version of this on MPC Fill, but it was low res. And then I just wanted to use Card Conjurer to make an updated version. So he still uses the old set symbol, but it does have the current frame with the current legendary crown. So pretty cool. It's for my friend's snake deck. Orin Frostfang, Borderless, Relic of Progenitus. Next up, these ones I'm pretty proud of. So, just wanted to take a quick look at it. It actually looks pretty decent. So, 8 snake tokens. However, on the back side, they've got alternate snakes. So, the front is Ka from Jungle Book, and then some of them use Ka from the animated Jungle Book, or the 3D CG one. This I used a Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe it's Cyberdark Horn as a snake that gives a poison counter. And then I also have Cyber Dragon here, which is just an artifact snake. So, thought these are pretty funny. I took it on myself to design those ones, so I'm having fun with those. Those are, again, are for my friend's snake commander deck. So, next up we got some extended art signets. Again, there is a residue here, which is a little worrying. I wonder, assuming it's like machine oil or something like that. But this is at least the second time it's happened now, so maybe it is leftover moisture from wherever these were manufactured, and then it just got reactivated when it was exposed to air? Question mark. So signets. They all look pretty cool. I like them in extended art. Mystic Remora, to feed the fish. Heuristic study. Skull clamp, extended art. Last bit here. Finale of Devastation, but I wanted a different image for it. Still using a T-Rex, so I used a screenshot from Jurassic Park along with some paint filters on Photoshop just to make it look more like a magic card. I think it looks pretty good. That's pretty cool. I actually enjoyed that a lot. Probably should have updated the flavor text to something from Jurassic Park. And then I also didn't, I forgot to toggle the dot instead of star for the foiling stamp in the corner. But, you know, that's what I get for trying to not double checking my work here. That's okay though. Next time, right? Great Henge, full art. It's pretty cool. Obviously a staple in green decks. Carpet of Flowers in the Japanese Mystical Archives style. So this is how the Mana Crypt was templated also. So both the name and the card type were in Japanese. So, I mean, one way you could also tell that it is obviously a proxy is that it doesn't have any furigana on the next to the kanji in the name, which would tell you the pronunciation in hiragana. But you know, details, right? And then it says instanto, so instant, obviously, or not instant, enchantment, sorry, enchanto. So just reading really quickly. Pitiless Plunder, because he's now like $11 as an uncommon. Chain of Vapor, extended art for CEDH stuff. Mental Misstep, also CEDH. Tybalt's Trickery, extended art version. Shadow Spear, because it's just a good equipment. Strionic Resonator for triggered abilities. Grim Monolith for CEDH. Curse of Opulence, because it's also like $11 now. Shared Animosity for red tribal decks. Grave Pact for sack decks, aristocrats decks. Triomes in the showcase frame. The Horizon Lands. Extended art. Gilded Drake, CEDH. So. So. There's those. Grand Abolisher, full art. Baron Master Wizard. I believe this is going in. Actually, which one does this go in? Which deck does this go into? I don't remember. It's either Jeska, Ishai Jeskai, or it's Beldrotha. I don't remember. Spellseeker for CEDH. Imperial Recruiter. I just thought it would be cool to give it the old frame with one of the newer arts. Mox Opals. Noxious Revival for any green deck we've got. And then finally Snuffouts, which are pretty cool. The old art. But obviously not the original set symbol. So cool. So those are all the non-foil cards that I ordered. Very happy with them. And then let's crack open these. The foil box. So foil box, it was small enough order that I was able to get it in the tuck. The white tuck box is packaging in addition to the shrink wrap, just for a little more protection, you know. And I wanted to see what the tuck box looked like. This is the max number that a tuck box can be used for. Any higher than 216, and you'd have it only shrink wrapped, or I think there's some other options also, but yeah, shrink wrapped. So these, all of them were only single side, so no double face cards, but holographic front. So let's take a peek. First up, we got the OG Duels. And they had them on MPC Fill, but I retemplated these on Card Conjurer and Photoshop just because I wanted the VMA, the Vintage Masters set symbol on these. And these look great, honestly. Like, these are pretty cool looking. I had been looking at trying to get a set of these proxies on like Etsy or whatever, but I mean, I wanted to order a lot of like a bunch of sets, like for and it just was obviously way cheaper to just put in the work yourself and print it through MPC. So it looks like the templating didn't work the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. So the foil looks pretty cool. I mean, obviously not the same foiling as a real Magic card. Let me see what I've got in this box here. Like I've got Misty Rainforests and stuff, but I've got a foil Yavimaya, so we can compare side by side a current foil card and a proxy foil. So yeah, they're different, definitely. There you get a lot more of the texturing, especially in the text box here on the newer foils, and if I recall correctly, the MPC stuff is kind of just like a spray gloss or something like that. But yeah, I wanted to see on some of the cooler looking cards, the more blingy cards, what the foil treatment looked like. So Duels, obviously. So Undergrad C, hyped about because it'll go into my ninja deck, Yuriko. Taiga, Scrubland, Volcanic Island. I as much as I love the iconic art on the VMA stuff, I believe it was by Noah Bradley, so I switched it. Just Googled Volcanic Island and then found this image, cropped it correctly and put it in here. The reds and blues that I have here are a bit washed out. I'm not sure how well it translates on this camera with this lighting, but I noticed it on the Tundra as well, but they are just not as vibrant. Maybe that's just the settings I have on Photoshop, but yeah, it's definitely not as like, maybe I could up the saturation or something on the cards that at least that I templated. So Plateau, Trop Island, looks pretty good. This was Yuriko the Tiger Shadow that was on MPC Fill with the D&D monster frame. That looks pretty sick. Using her original art, obviously, but templated like a monster or a creature in D&D. That's super cool. I really like that a lot. And then here's one that I templated, and I am very happy with how this turned out. So I used, if you like Google like fantasy girl ninja or something, I was looking for this art in particular because this art is prevalent in a lot of Yuriko proxies that you'll find on marketplaces like Etsy. But I didn't like the way the card itself was templated. So I wanted to try a couple things out. This is the final draft that I went with. So it uses a bit of the Japanese mystical archive framing here with the mana symbols and the mythic symbol there. But I wanted to see what else I could do for the other text boxes, like the name and the creature typing. So originally, I played around with a couple of things on this design. So obviously the art I got off the artist, I believe it was on their art station. So that was plopped into a borderless frame. And then I used the Japanese Mystical Archive kind of template on Card Conjurer to get the mana symbols, this main text box, and then the rarity symbol on the right here. But then for the name and type line, I kind of used the Japanese Mystical Archive as a template, but I just reformatted the text box to use a custom font, no box behind it, just to make it look a little more unique. And then I had a white text with a little drop shadow behind it to make it look a little comic booky or postery. So, you know, partially inspired by some of the more recent secret layers, but I am really happy with how this turned out, and I probably will slot this right into my main commander. I mean, I believe I have every version of Yuriko in English at this point. So I have the original Commander 2018, I believe it was, copy. I have the Judge foil, and the etched foil, so from Commander Legends, along with the one from the Mystery Booster. So yeah, I'm very happy with this templating. It looks like the cut line was a little weird, and that's probably on me. I probably should have extended the black bar lower on this one, but yeah, the template's a little weird when it gets to full art things. So it's a good thing to note. Yeah, a little bit on the edge too, so the black didn't extend all the way on the edge of this card. So that's on me. At first I thought it was damage from the cut, but no, that looks like it's my bad on the design. But that's fine. Good thing to know for next time, and to update my own Photoshop template. Cool. So those are my favorite two out of the bunch. I got Lotus Petal here using the art from the invention, but on an extended art thing. Dockside Extortionist, because I only have one treasure goblin in my inventory. Oh, okay. So this one, even though I think it was in the same drive, it doesn't have the strength constitution post-it note in the corner. So maybe I'll have to update my copy of this, or like download the template and update it on my side so that it's just self-consistent, because it has power and toughness in the text box here rather than as like a little post-it. So something to note, I got a couple of Dockside Extortionists just to see how the different templates kind of printed. So like these are both extended art. This one has a more traditional one with a white text box and the red on the side, but then this one has a black text box. I just wanted to see how they printed. Also, obviously, Dockside Extortionist currently only comes in nonfoil, so it's an easy distinguishing thing that obviously these are proxies because they are foiled. Flooded Strand. So next up are the fetches that I ordered. Just picked a bunch of different stylings off of MPC Fill, really. Obviously, again, the D&D frame, some Japanese-looking frames, Polluted Delta, different arts. So original art, Bloodstained Mire. I saw for the fetches, I wanted at least one or two of the D&D style arts because I think they look sick. Wooded Foothills. There's one that looks like a Mystical Archive. It looks gorgeous. The art is really nice here. Cool. I'm super excited for Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, so probably going to pick up at least one collector booster box of it, because Ninjas is my favorite deck. I wish I could have played during Kamigawa, even though I heard it wasn't very good gameplay-wise, but I like the flavor. Once of Teeth. Marsh Flats, using some of the You know, I believe this is the secret layer art for it. Marsh Flats, Scalding Tarn, the expedition art. Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, secret layer art. I mean, I'm a sucker for Innistrad also, because original Innistrad was my first set. Arid Mesa. So again, thickness feels pretty close to a real Magic card. People have said online that it is marginally thinner, because I use the S30 thickness, or S30 cardstock. And then people say if you use the S33, it's like a hair heavier, or hair thicker, or heavier than the a standard Magic card. But once you sleeve or double sleeve it again, it probably doesn't change anything. You got the Misties here, got the foil, Force of Wills, and full art. Or borderless, I should say. Feels pretty good. That's pretty cool. I do have one of the borderless Force of Will, the box topper version, so box topper being the non-foil version in my deck. Flusterstorm, again, doesn't come in foil, as if I recall correctly, so got some foiled versions just for my own use. Mox Diamonds for CEDH, because they are like, what, 500 plus right now each. So cool, and in foil, and they look pretty cool. I like it. Chrome Mox, one of the cards I actually still need for my Commander deck in Rio. I probably am looking for the box topper version, so the non-foil version, but as a placeholder, if I ever play a CEDH game, I do still need a Chrome Mox. So Jeweled Lotus, because, you know, why not print a Jeweled Lotus? This one is in an invention frame, and it looks pretty cool, an invention frame. So here you could also take a look at how the foils, or the security stamp, is printed. So it's obviously not holographic, really, or not the same, what is it, lenticular printing or something along that line for those at the bottom. Here you could actually see a different version. So this one has like an extra like sheen or shine layer over it, but you know, it's a proxy. So Jeweled Lotus, Lion's Eye Diamonds, the Battle Bond lands. I also wanted these in the D&D frame because I think they're pretty sweet looking. Bountiful Promenade, Vault of Champions in the Zendikar Expedition frame. Again, I wanted to choose different frames so I could see how they print. So here we got 2 Vault of Champions in 2 different Zendikar Expedition frames. So the newer one and the older style. Training Center with a cool Japanesey art to it. Training Center, Undergrowth Stadiums. More of the Bondlands. Rejuvenating Springs, which apparently I just built a lot of blue-green decks, so I needed quite a few of them. So these are 2 custom proxies that I built for my partner for her Arabo deck. So obviously I used real pictures of our cats to print in there. So very cute. I like it a lot. If anything, I'd probably boost the brightness a bit on both of these. They're a little dark, but I've heard that same thing on the MPCproxies subreddit, that the foils at least print kind of dark, so you need to boost either the brightness or the levels on the thing a little more. But yeah. 2 cat tokens. I think I actually plan to print proxies of most of her deck in like using pictures of our cats. So we'll see how that project goes as I design more things. So this one in the kind of old style full art treatment, and then Sacred Cat in the D&D or the Adventures in Forgotten Realms showcase treatment, just because it really went well with that. This cat here is in a cardboard box, and the cardboard pretty closely matched the theme and color of the book style of frame. So pretty cute. I think she'll like it a lot. It's her Christmas, part of our Christmas present. So the free spells. So we got Deadly Relic, Extended Art. Obviously not in foil yet, so another way to distinguish that it is indeed a proxy. Deflecting SWAT. Fierce Guardianship. I picked a couple of different frames for this, so I believe this is supposed to be out of a video game, but I don't remember which one it's supposed to be. Fierce Guardianship, like a borderless kind of full art style. That's pretty cool. Different Fierce Guardianship. Extended Art Fierce Guardianship. Flawless Maneuver. Also picked a couple different frames here just to see which one printed the best. So this one and this one, obviously kind of similar styling. This one a little more zoomed in, a little more dynamic with the swords covering the sword and the figure in the back covering part of the main text box, and then the text box is also a little darker on the gradient behind them, but here a little lighter. So, and then Extended Art, Hollowed Fountain, so Shocklands. Again, got a bunch of different frames just to see how they printed and which one I like in the long run. Watery Grave, Blood Crypts. That's really pretty. Stomping Ground, Temple Gardens. Ooh, that one's really nice. Temple Garden, Godless Shrine. Godless Shrine using my favorite art, but Steam Vents, that's really nice. Steam Vent using the Expedition art, Overgrown Tomb, Sacred Foundry, Breeding Pools, and that's it. So I just wanted to shoot this video, this unboxing, just to kind of spread the information on how MPC foil versus non-foil look. Guess again what we'll do is we'll take out some cards just to do a side-by-side. So these are genuine Wizards of the Coast cards. Niv Mizzet, Paradise Druid, and then we'll compare it to this Growing Rites of Itlamok here. So the front texture, a little rougher on the MPCproxies, but that won't matter once it's in a sleeve. Yeah, it's very close in terms of feel overall. Yeah, it's super close. The difference would be even smaller when it's in a sleeve. I guess with just a little bit of a flick, you tell that it is a little more flexible, but again, in a sleeve, probably imperceptible. So then yeah, we'll do Forbidden Friendship, I guess, to see. So genuine card, and then a MPC proxy on the left. That's just different. you can see that, especially on the lighter areas, or I guess the darker areas on the genuine foil, it's a little more matted out, especially on cards that are designed around it nowadays. So like maybe if the Misty was genuine, like the foreground land would be more matted, but again, it's just the same amount of foiling across the entire card on the MPC foils. They still look very pretty, but there's just a little more attention to detail on the MPC proxies, and obviously the hollow stamp, the lenticular printing, and then just the amount of detail there. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned a little something on this video. I just wanted to share my unboxing experience, first impressions, obviously, and then show off a little bit of design work that I'm very proud of with this Yuriko. So I love the way it turned out. So I'll probably save it as a frame in my Photoshop documents so I can print more cards, especially with Kamigawa Neon Dynasty coming out, print more cards in the style of this. So cool. Thanks for sticking around. See ya.